ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Help for the Guildless. My name, of course, is Antoine. And before I go any further, you might have noticed I have some new art about. And this art was given to me by Artistic Fox-More. They're an amazing artist, and I suggest you check them out. I will link their Facebook page down below, and they do accept commissions, so go help a starving artist. And as for that, that's my good deed for the year. It only took till July, but I got it sorted out. So let's talk about why you clicked on this video and the curious case of Kevin Logan. On his surface, Kevin Logan is the poster child for an SJW. And the reason why is because on the surface, he is the White Knight of White Knights. He repeats feminist talking points that are handed down from his overlords. And with his subscriber base, well, the old adage from Hollywood rings true even on YouTube. And of course that is, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And as far as what he knows, if I were to challenge Kevin Logan to a battle of wits, he'd show up empty-handed. But this is not an attack on his person, even though it should be. I'll explain why in a second. So I'm going to do something that every good coach knows how to do, and that is I'm going to build him up so I can break him down. So the first thing, I saw him on Warski Live, and in that interaction I got to see the real Kevin Logan. Someone who was willing to have a conversation and was not playing a caricature of a raging social justice warrior. And in that instance, he had a conversation with Andy, and both of them were just having a discussion. Kevin wasn't trying to convince Andy of anything, and Andy wasn't trying to convince Kevin of anything, and the conversation was decent. Kevin kind of saw things from Andy's perspective in the same instance that Andy saw things from Kevin's perspective. It was very cordial, and because of that, I decided to check Kevin out. So I went to his channel, and just a small aside, his channel is kind of disorganized. I don't think it's his fault. He has a couple of playlists. Other than that, he just kind of dumps everything into one specific playlist and then another, and it's, like I said, disorganized. But one thing that did stand out is something called the Skeptic Squirrel. And believe it or not, these are little bite-sized chunks of satirical genius. 2.5 to 3 minute long little videos where Kevin Logan, as the Skeptic Squirrel, takes the piss out of the skeptic community. And I think they're great. It has very biting satire, the wit is on point, and believe it or not, in the small little bite-sized portions of videos that they get their point across rather well. But I'm disappointed in one thing about it. When you tell me by description that the character you're going to play is a squirrel, I expect a squirrel. Kevin, as a subscriber and a fan of your little series, may I make a suggestion? Speed up your voice. You have a cartoon avatar for the Skeptic Squirrel. Give us the cartoon that we expect. Give us the... When you hear cartoon squirrel, everyone knows what type of voice to expect. I was kind of expecting that as well, and when I didn't get it, I was kind of let down. Just give it a try. I'm not saying you have to do it, but it's something that you could maybe test out. And just continue doing the Skeptic Squirrel. I believe that the skeptic community needs to have the piss taken out of it, because a lot of them have their heads so far up their own ass, they're smelling their own farts like it's ozone. But we get to the meat and potatoes of Kevin's YouTube life, and that is the descent of man, Osphere. And he is very, very proud of that title, that little pun. Everybody knows the descent of man is talking about how man is reverting to his basic and baser natures. And it's exactly what Kevin describes it as, is this manosphere is trying to revert the internet community as a whole into a misogynistic quagmire of scum and villainy. Before we go any further, I want to point out something. The manosphere does not exist. It was a term coined by everyday feminism. And because of that, it is seen as derogatory. In this instance, the manosphere cannot exist because there is no woman-osphere. The manosphere, as everyday feminism coined it, is a men-only space in the internet, talking about places like A Voice for Men, pickup artists, chat rooms, things of that nature. MGTOW. Well, he proves that the manosphere isn't a men-only space by having some of the people he talks about in the descent of manosphere. People like Karen Strawn and the Honey Badgers. Shoe on Head, Blair White. All of them happen to be female, thus negating the manosphere. And there is no manosphere because there is no woman-osphere. You can't have one without the other. Men do not dominate that harshly on the internet. Anyway, that's just my little caveat to that. So the descent of manosphere are 25 to 30 minute bitch fits. And I understand the irony of me talking about Kevin Logan's bitch fits and me talking about Kevin Logan. I'm not doing what he does. The Descent of Manosphere's episodes range everywhere from someone he's talking about from Paul Elam to Roosh V, Bane 666 to Goodfella, Davis Orini and Red Pill Philosophy to Karen Strawn, Shoe on Head and Blair White. He talks about quite a few people. But therein lies the problem. He's talking about them, not the ideas they stand for. He attacks the person, not the ideas or the ideology, which makes him no better than a ponage channel, a type of channel that he rallies against. He hates bearing, for instance. He's part of the Fisty Splinters Bearing Hate Mob, one of the newest members. He hates ponage channels, and yet he is one. So, here's how the descent of Manosphere starts. And then I'll get into the nuance of what he actually does, and why he's a fucking hypocrite. It starts with a bunch of clips rolled together for about 3 minutes of his target, and then saying a bunch of random things. Some make them look bad, some make them look really bad. And then he gives you a quick rundown of who they are, and then he continues on with trying to dissect certain things that they've said. Here's the problem. Every clip that he uses is a cherry-picked, quote-mined video clip. He takes obvious sarcasm and jokes out of context to the point of taking them so seriously that he ruins the joke. On top of that, he decides when and what quotes to use from what video clips. After doing this, he goes into a bunch of insults with a little bit of self-depreciating humor in there, and mainly just calls them idiots. The problem is you quote mine, and I know you do, because I watched the one on Karen Strawn, since she is someone that I admire, and you used many quotes out of context to get your narrative across. And I know you did it because every single time she says something that is of grave importance that you're trying to point out, you cut it off as soon as your point is made. You don't let the context of the conversation speak for itself. You see, when I do a response video to someone like Riley Dennis, I let Riley finish their point, and then I respond in kind. It's so I cannot be told I'm taking it out of context. Kevin doesn't worry about that. As a matter of fact, he relishes it. Which it wasn't always the case. When I say I accidentally clicked on it, I mean I was trying to get to a different person that he was doing the Descent of Manosphere about. I accidentally clicked on the one that was done on Davis Arini. And Kevin does something that proves his point and should have left it at that. That could have been the whole Descent of Manosphere right there. 5 minutes. He says he wants to have Davis Arini, in his own words, tell you what he believes or thinks about women. And then he cuts to a clip of Elliot Rodger. It's the video that we've all seen. He's sitting in the car, he's talking about how he's the supreme gentleman, and how women are sluts because they won't throw themselves at him. Being the true misogynist that he was, and saying some horrible thing, evil laugh and all. Kevin Logan then says, no, that's the wrong clip. We were supposed to show Davis Arini. And then he shows Davis Arini talking in the full context of what he wants to say. And Davis Arini mirrors, almost to a T, what Elliot Rodger says. Good. That's what you should be doing. Davis Arini is an asshole. There are many people in our side that can't stand him and his obsession with skulls. But you stopped doing that to start doing hit pieces, because the hit pieces are what got you the views. The hit pieces are what got you the revenue, the sweet, sweet, juicy ad revenue. You became what you hate. You became a ponage channel, and you're bad at it. Because all of your arguments break down to they're idiots, they're stupid, they're a cunt, they're morons. Pretty much you elaborate on the same insult over and over and over again until the end of the 30-minute mark. Going back to the Karen Strawn one, they're taking apart Arendt Zerka, and Karen makes a sarcastic comment about Lacey Green and her show being called Brawless, and Karen Strawn says, nope, she has a bra. Can't be called Brawless if she's wearing a bra. And you take that at face value as if that is something serious. You know it's a joke, Kevin. You're just trying to make them look bad. You have an opportunity and an audience to do the right thing. I don't care if you don't believe what I believe. Continue being who you are, but do it the right way. Don't be a ponage channel if you hate them. You may not like Milo Yiannopoulos, but he has a wonderful quote. And that's, let their ideas into the light of day. If they are truly horrible, people will see it. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. I wanted to like you, Kevin. I really did. Which is why I'm not being as harsh as I could be with this. Because after I saw what you said about CNN, and how CNN is pretty much at fault for exactly what everyone believes they're at fault for, when I thought you were going to defend them, you gained more respect from me. So I wanted to do this the right way. I wanted to conduct my very first interview. Well, my first interview with someone from your side. So I went to look Kevin Logan up on Facebook. Well, not Facebook, I'm sorry, Twitter. And lo and behold, I'm blocked by Kevin Logan. This is more of your hypocrisy showing. You use a block bot. You are literally creating your own echo chamber. Now, I know what you're going to say. I don't need to deal with trolls all day. Very true. But by blocking everyone and lumping them all together, you are missing the ones that possibly could have an opportunity to create conversation. If someone comes up to me on my Twitter and says, "You're a horrible fucking human being," I will first be surprised that someone atted me on Twitter anyway, and then look and go, "Oh, that's a troll." My response to them is going to be simply, "Fuck off," and then move on. But if that very next day I get another notification, and it's, "Look, I listened to your video about so-and-so, and here are the point, and I think you're wrong about something," that's not a troll. That's an opportunity to have a discussion. Breaking the echo chamber. You're almost as bad as the piece of shit you are friends with named Steve Shives. You're a hypocrite, Kevin. And it's because of that I couldn't do this the way I wanted to, and that I'm going to tag you in it, and I'm going to tag Tim as well. A demotivator opinion, so maybe you'll look at it. I don't want to attack you, Kevin. I want to discuss your ideas. And if you have a problem with this video, let me know. All the ways to contact me are linked below. And if you want, I can do a real interview. Pick your brain. But as of right now, you're no better than Steve Shives. And that's not good in the eyes of quite a few people. And if you have a problem with this video, I have 4 words for you, Kevin. Come at me, bro. That's just my opinion. For the rest of you listening, I'd love to know yours. Do you think I'm wrong in this? Do you think I'm overstepping my bounds, calling Kevin out on how he does his descent of manosphere? Let me know in the comments. If you like what I do here, please hit like, share, and subscribe. If you're friends with Kevin Logan, let him know about this video. Anyway, my name, of course, is Antoine. This has been Help for the Guildless. Thank you for listening. As I told Kevin before, all the links to contact me are down below. I hope you all have a wonderful evening.